Hello, my Ali Pallies, and thank you for joining me today. Now, today I've got a bit of a different video for you because at the moment I've been doing Charlotte Tilbury, mainly because that's the box that I can get my hands on, and as you know, we're going to be moving soon. But I was inspired to make a small purchase of makeup by Samantha Jaelle. As some of you know, I spoke about her on my last video. For those of you that don't know, Samantha Jaelle is a beauty YouTuber who has got a channel, and I'm going to link it again below. And she posted a video to say that she's been diagnosed with a terminal brain tumour. It was very shocking, very sudden. Started out with a headache. Paracetamol didn't help. She went to A&E and within days was diagnosed with a terminal brain tumour. And Samantha's the same age as me. I think it's really made me stop and think. I've been thinking about her a lot, and I'm sure it has to a lot of people. And I think I've got a delivery coming, so I'm just going to break off for a minute. Yes, that was for me. I've ordered a travel hairdryer because I cannot find my hairdryer. I've gone through every box that I can, and I cannot find where I pack my hairdryer. And my hair is starting to get a little bit wiry and a bit. It looks okay because of the cut, but believe you me, it's just getting out of control. So, I had to do a lot of work to make it look like this morning. So yeah, I got myself a travel hairdryer. Anyway, back to the subject. So Samantha Jaelle is a beauty YouTuber. She's been given this terminal diagnosis. The update is that she has been offered some brain surgery, which has given her a little bit of hope. However, as I understand it, looking at her GoFundMe page, that she's basically still terminal, but this will extend her life. But it does have some risks, and it may cause paralysis, and it's a risky operation. So I'm just sending her all the love in the world. Now, I'm dedicating this video to Samantha, and I want to say thank you to Samantha. I'm sure she's not going to watch me. I think we can all relate in some way to how she must be feeling, although it's very difficult to imagine. For me, as you know, I have gone through a disability which is deteriorating. My mobility is deteriorating. So I can't imagine what Samantha's going through, but I can imagine about that feeling of something's happening to my body and I have no control over it. I've just got to go with it. And I think everyone's got their own personal reasons for connecting with Samantha. And I'm not sort of trying to say that I'm the only one. But for me, that's what made me kind of relate to it. Can't relate to being told that I'm terminally ill, but to suddenly have a condition that is making things out of control in your body is definitely something I can relate to, and my heart goes out to her. Now, Samantha, as I said, has inspired this video. So this is a video dedicated to Samantha, and the reason why is that Samantha does a lot of makeup revolution videos, and I think I've only ever reviewed one makeup revolution palette, which was a palette that my stepdaughter bought me at Christmas. But it made me go on to their site and have a look, and I thought, you know, at the moment I've got to rein in my expenditure, and Makeup Revolution is a lot more affordable. And I saw a palette that just jumped out at me because it had the most beautiful greens in it. So today I'm going to be reviewing that and one other product by Makeup Revolution and doing a look. So this is the palette, and it's called I Love Revolution Tasty Avocado Palette. Okay, now you will find this palette for all you Charlotte Tilbury fanatics out there, this palette is £10. And it's also good to see, you know, is it that much different to Charlotte Tilbury? I just love the colour scheme in this palette. Here's the palette, look at that. It's got an avocado on the front. It's really cool. I just love it. It's just really fun. And then on the back, you've got just details of the shades, really. Okay, so it's got 18 shades. And I'm just going to open the palette and show you. They're all greens. And if you've got brown eyes, this is definitely a palette to consider, because green really makes brown eyes pop. I have to admit, this is not my very first impression, because when I got this palette yesterday, I was so excited I had to have a little go, but I just didn't have time to set up my lighting and do all that. So I have had a go at this already. Here is the palette. Look at those greens. Are they not beautiful? Look at that. It just got my creative makeup artist type juices flowing. I'm going to do some swatches in a second, but I'm also going to show you what I got in addition. In addition to this, I got this multi-liner, which was £5. I think if you go onto Makeup Revolution's site, it's been reduced to £3.50. But I got my order from Superdrug. And so I just thought, I don't want to order from two places. But you can get this for £3.50, I think, on their direct site. Now, what this is, if you can see, it looks very much like that Benefit brow pencil that I showed you. Like one of those pencils that you used to get at school where it had different colours on it. So I'm just going to show you. But this one is actually not a brow pencil. It is a liner pencil. Now in it has 3 eyeliners, 3 that you would want to use most often. So it's got black here, it's got brown here, black, brown, and then it's got a nude one, so a bit like Charlotte's eye cheat, and then this one is a lip liner pencil. So really great if you're traveling, or like me at the moment, where all my stuff is boxed up and you don't want to be getting boxes out all the time and looking for 3 different liners. Just really good. Look, you can put that, and it's got the most commonly used ones. Now, I understand, I think it's Clinique. I'm going to check and I'll put a little note underneath if I'm incorrect. But I think Clinique do a similar pencil like this, and their one's about £30. I'll put the details underneath. But I saw reviews saying, I can't believe I went and bought that one when this one is just as good. So I had to try this just for the sheer convenience of having one pencil that has a black, brown and nude eyeliner in it and a lip pencil. Okay, so I have tried that as well, and I'll tell you my thoughts on that. But first of all, shall we get swatching? Yeah, let's get swatching. Okay, so I'm going to swatch them. I'm going to go along, hang on. I'm going to go along, and along on my arm like this, and then I'm going to post a photograph underneath so that you can see them all. Okay, so let's get swatching, shall we? So first off, we have a shimmer shade called Smash. Some of these look a little bit blue, and if you've got a warm undertone, some of them have a tendency to look a little bit blue as well as green. And if you get frustrated by that, there is a couple of things you can do. One is that there's plenty of greens that you can put on as a base. But the other thing is, if you use a primer on your eyelids beforehand, a white primer or a really nice kind of solid skin-coloured primer, it will enable the shades to stay true to their colour if you don't want them to look blue. When you have an olive undertone, greens and blues can sort of not appear as they do in the pan because of the yellow coming through in your undertone. So that's how you can correct it. But anyway, I'm going to swatch these on the palest part of my arm here, and I'm going to try and do it because every time I go to swatch, I do it so that you can see it in the camera, and then when I turn my arm round to photograph it afterwards, I can't actually get it at the right angle. So I'm going to pay attention to that as well today. So let's go in with Smash, which is the first shade, and it's a shimmer shade. And I'm just going to put that one, let's put it here because I want to make sure I've got enough room. Now this one swatches a little bit sort of, it looks a bit flaky. But again, don't pay too much attention to swatches because they definitely don't apply in the same way as the swatches do. Okay, so next up in we have Toast, which is a very good matte transition shade, kind of mid-brown colour. So I'm just going to swatch it again on my arm. So you're not seeing me actually doing the swatch, but that way I can get my arm at a good angle. So bear in mind that I've got a little bruise there. I don't know where that's come from. Okay, so that one is Toast. Then we have Avo, which is lovely. It's a really lovely green shade. And greens seem to be really in at the moment. I've noticed that a lot of people are coming out with green nail polishes. And I actually am thinking about getting a Makeup Revolution nail polish or two because they're only £3. And again, they've had some really good reviews. So there is Avo. See that? Really lovely colour. Really saturated matte, as you can see. And then we have California, which is a kind of goldy brown, but with a hint, an undertone of green, lime green. So there is California. You see that? Don't worry, I'm going to take a picture of this at the end so that you can see it in a better camera. Just wipe down my fingers so I don't contaminate the next colours. Okay, and then we have Smoothie. Smoothie is a lovely shimmery mint green. There's Smoothie. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love this palette. I love the colours. Okay, and then we have Half, which really looks like an avocado once you've cut it open. It's a kind of muted green. There we are. So that one is up there. And then let's move on to the next row. I think I'm going to run out of arm space here, but we'll just take it as we go. This one is called Has. This one is absolutely beautiful for lining your lids or really building up the corner if you've got hooded lids like myself. It's just gorgeous. Can you see that? It's almost black, but it's got a bluey kind of teal undertone to it. It's not completely green. It's kind of a teal undertone. I love that shade. Absolutely love it. And it makes a difference from just having black. So then we have Guacamole. Guacamole. Just hold on. I just need to get another wipe out and get all of this off my fingers. Okay, back to the swatches. So here we have Guacamole, which is a lovely bright green. There's Guacamole, a matte shade. And then we have Brunch. Now Brunch looks a little bit more on the blue side. Again, sort of minty green. All right, so that's Brunch. And then we have Green Gold, and that's exactly how I describe it, a green gold. So let's put that one up there. Green Gold. And then we have Mousse, which is a brown shimmer shade. So again, really versatile palette here. And again, you could use that one to kind of line or intensify, just to give a contrast. So I'm just wiping my hands down again. And so the last one of the second row is called Stone. So let me just show you Stone. I've just got to dry off my fingers, so I'm not going in wet. I wouldn't want to mislead anyone by showing it you wet when all the others are dry. So here we have Stone. So that one's more like a khaki, grey sort of green, a bit on the kind of spectrum of Charlotte's new palette, the trio that I showed you before. It's really lovely and pigmented. Okay, and then we have the last line, and I'm just trying to figure out, I'm going to swap arms. Let me swap arms. That's probably the best way. So the next one we have is called Creamy, which I'll just put here. Now, you're not going to see that very much on me, but if you're fair, you're going to see it a lot more. When I put that on my lids, it kind of almost disappeared. But again, that one's a really good one if you're trying to blend out some of the mattes. It will blend them out. So if you're having difficulty blending them out, you can just go in with that shade and it will help you. Then we have Bite, which is another shimmer shade. The glitter on this one, it's quite similar to Brunch, but the glitter particles are just a little bit chunkier. So it's more of a blue-green. In fact, to me, that looks like blue, to be honest. It doesn't really look like teal blue. It looks like a darker version of blue. Then we have Pear. Pear is beautiful. It's stunning. To use as a highlighter with this palette, well, is just really stunning. There we go. So that is Pear. Let me just, I've not done that one justice. Let me go back in. There we go. And then we have Foodie, which again is more of a blue shade. But again, if you're mixing them in with the greens, you can make them look green, or you could do a blue look with this palette. So that's Foodie. And then we have Seed. This is another matte brown, but it's a warmer kind of orangey brown. It's more, I was going to say terracotta, but it's not. It's more mustard. And then finally, another beautiful matte shade called Lime. And that's exactly how I would describe it, as a light lime, yellowy green. So there you have it, all the swatches. I'm just going to take a photograph, get some of this off my hands, and I'll be right back. Okay, silly me. I've just got to say, if some of the swatches didn't look very pigmented on the last row, it's because while I was taking the photo of one, I didn't realise that I was pressing my arm against my jumper. So I've now got bits of eye makeup all over my jumper. So some of it came off on my jumper as I was swatching it. All right, so I'm now off to clean my arms, and then I'll be right back because I want to swatch you this eye pencil. Okay, I'm back. And here is the eye pencil. Now, I say eye pencil, one of them is a lip colour. So I'm just going to swatch you these. These are really creamy and they apply beautifully and you don't have to sharpen them. And I wore them last night and I've still got some eye makeup there. I thought that was another bruise. So let me just do these. So this one is, sorry, just got to dry my hands. So this one here is the black. Really creamy, really applies well. Then we have the brown. I didn't use the brown yet, so I've got to twist that one up. Just bear with me and I'll be right back. Can you see that when you twist it, it comes up like that? So it's got a square edge. So you can get a really fine line. Let me show you. If you go in at the edge, you can get a really fine line, or you can do it flat and get a thicker line like that. So that's the brown. It's a nice sort of, it's not too warm and it's not too cool. It's just right. And then we have the kind of nude shade that you can put in your waterline, which I'm just going to put here. Again, really good formula. And then we have the lip shade. Now, I did try the lip shade last night. I wasn't that keen on the lip shade, to be honest. It was a little bit too pale for me. It just went on. Now, it doesn't look pale there at all. Isn't that bizarre? But when I went to put it on my lips, let me show you. It just looked a bit too pale to line my lips. I would say that on my lips, it looks a bit like, Iconic Nude. So if you like Iconic Nude, then this is a great one. I don't think I'm going to be using that a lot because it's just too pale for me. And yet there, it doesn't look pale at all. It's really bizarre. So, but anyway, so I don't think I'll be using the lip liner much. But the other ones I think I'll be using a lot. And I kept thinking, have I put the eyeliner on by mistake? Because it looks like the eyeliner when I put it on my lips. It's really bizarre. But it isn't. It's that one. So anyway, I don't know why that is. It just, if it was that colour on my lips, then that would be perfect because it's like pillow talk. But it just comes out too light. Can't understand that. Look at that versus that. It's really weird. Okay, well, anyway, conundrum done with. Should we get on and do a look? So I'm just going to put my base on. I'm probably going to go for something slightly more natural today. So I'm going to put on Unisex Healthy Glow, and then I'm going to use Retoucher. I just fancy putting on something a bit lighter today for a change. So I'll do that and I'll be right back. Okay. And just like that, I'm back. Okay, so today I put on Unisex Healthy Glow, and then I used a little bit of Light Wonder in shade 8. And I used the Retoucher. I know this isn't all Makeup Revolution. My base is still Charlotte Tilbury because it's what I can grab at the moment. So yeah, and then I used Retoucher instead of Magic Away. Now I have a quick Charlotte Tilbury tip of the week coming up before we move on. Okay, so I made a discovery yesterday because I got out my Retoucher to do my makeup, and I put it over Airbrush Flawless Foundation. You have to try it. It looks beautiful, beautiful over Airbrush Flawless Foundation. And to be honest, when you've got Airbrush Flawless Foundation on, it is so high coverage that you don't need Magic Away concealer. And I think that's where it just looks a little bit too caked on. So try it. If you have Charlotte's Retoucher, when you put on your Airbrush Flawless foundation, put on Retoucher instead of Magic Away. It looks beautiful, really beautiful. So that's my tip of the week. And from now on, I'm going to be using Retoucher a lot more. Maybe Magic Away when I use something a bit lighter coverage, and then Retoucher when I use Airbrush Flawless foundation. It looks stunning. Okay, so let's move on now to the palette. Okay, so this video has already gone on quite some time. So I'm going to run through this, showing you which colours I used so that you can see. And then we'll do the final look. But you won't hear me talking a lot as I'm applying the palette. But I will tell you at the end what my conclusion is about how they all apply. Okay, so let's get going. Okay. So first on, we're going in with the lime shade. And I'm going to do that all over my lid. Actually, I know I said I wasn't going to talk too much, but I must say that I could quite easily go out with just this shade on my eyes. I love it. I'm just going to take a bit underneath. Now, what putting that shade on will do is it will make all the other colours look green. So green or white, if you've got a warm undertone, as a base colour will just help to set the colour and make it look true, okay? So moving on, I'm now going to go in with Toast and use that as a transition shade. Okay, so next up, I'm going to build up the green in my socket. So I'm going to go in with Avo. Okay, and then I'm going to put, what am I going to put next? I'm going to put a little bit of guacamole just to lighten it a little bit, just above. And to help blend some of that in. Okay, now I'm going to take Hass, you knew, to build up the intensity. I'm going to take it with a smudge brush and I'm going to do my triangle in the corner. I just love this colour. It's just such a beautiful teal. Teal, dark, green. I'm just getting the shape and then I will blend it all in. Can you see what I'm doing there? I'm relaxing my eyes to see whether or not it's even on both sides once I relax my eyes. And now I'm going to blend, blend, blend. Okay, now as you can see, that's gone out too far. I'm going to clean that up at the end, don't worry. And I haven't done as much as I want to do under my eyes yet. But next on in, I'm going to go in with a lid colour. And I'm going to use a couple just so that you can see them. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go in with Smoothie, which is a lovely green shimmer. And of course, I'm applying this with my fingers. I think they apply better when you apply them with your fingers. I think most shimmers do. As you can see, it's beautifully pigmented. Okay, and then just to highlight in the center, I'm going to take, let me see, a little bit of green gold, I think. No, pear. Pear's even lighter. Let me do pear. Sorry, I just got a call then in the middle of that. So that's pear in the middle, which is good, but I want to get even more of a pop right in the center, because you know me, I'm greedy. So I'm going to take Smash, which has got a blue undertone, but it's okay because I've now got enough green just right in the center. I love this palette. I love, love, love it. Okay, so that is the top. Now I'm just going to highlight my brows. Now the only thing about these is there isn't really a shimmer, kind of plain shimmer. You could use your own highlighter, but I'm going to go in with pear because you can just about get away with pear, even though it's a bit greeny. You can just about get away with it. But if you don't like that, then I would just use a regular highlighter to highlight your brows with. And then I'm going to put pear, pop a little bit in there and a little bit in there. And then I'm going to take that underneath just to meet up with that other one. And because I'm wearing blue and I want to kind of tie things a little bit together, I'm just going to take Foodie, which is blue. It's a blue shimmer, but it's not a really glittery shimmer. And I'm just going to take that, I dab a bit off, and I'm going to run that in so that it kind of ties together with the navy blue top that I'm wearing. Kind of makes sense of it all. Why is she wearing a green eye makeup when she's got a blue top on, kind of thing. Okay, now I need to clean this up, which I will do, and I'll show you how I do that, and then I will put on my mascara and I'll be right back. Okay, so in the process of blending, you can see it's gone out way too far on what you're aiming to do. So you take a makeup wipe and just fold it so that you've got a straight edge. And what you're aiming to do here is, as I've said before, is to get a line going from there up to where your brow ends. And that will give your eyes a lift, as hopefully you will see. Can you see what a difference that makes now? And then any sort of edges you can blend away again. And then here to there and sweep it up like so. I just turn that round. Okay, and then you just take your retoucher. That's what's so good about the retoucher as well. And you can just, where your foundations come off, is just draw yourself a little line there. And this will give your eyes a lift as well. Like so. And it's very easy to get bits of green on your fingers when you're doing this. So just make sure that you also give your fingers a wipe. Otherwise you're going to end up with green retoucher. So that's that one done. And then I just want to blend out again because it's looking a bit harsh now. You don't really want harsh lines. So just making sure I clean off my smudge brush and my blending brush. I'm just going to blend, blend, blend. Now, if you think, these aren't, some of the mattes here are not the easiest to blend. I did have to work hard. Just take the creamy shade, which is this light shade here, and I just use that to help to blend it out, and it will work. Like so. And just take some of that the other side and use it to help to blend it out. And it should blend out any harsh lines that you have. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with this black eyeliner. I'm going to put that on the upper line, the waterline, and then I'm going to go in with the nude shade, put it underneath, and then put on some mascara. So I'll show you how this applies, and I'll do that on fast forward, and then the rest of it I'll do off camera, and I'll be right back. Just to show you, I did a little bit underneath just to link up that line where I've kind of flicked it out at the side. Otherwise it looks a bit detached. And then I'm going to take the nude one and just put that in my lower waterline. Right, this calls for lashings and lashings of mascara. So as Charlotte would say, full fat lashes, she says. But I'm going to use her Legendary Brows, Legendary Lashes, Volume 2, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to finish off by using Charlotte's Pretty Youth filter in Seduce Blush, which is this one here, with her brush. Because I don't really want anything too bold on my cheeks because I've got a bold eye look. I have used her Bronze and Glow. So it's subtle, but it gives me just enough of a pink cheek. And then I'm going to get some lipstick. Okay, I haven't got time to dig out my Charlotte Tilbury lip liners, so I'm just going to use this because it will just stop my lipstick from bleeding anyway. And it is sort of a pretty neutral colour, just a bit too light for me. Okay, and now I'm going to use Karina's Star, which I think will go nicely with this. I nearly forgot to give you my impressions of the palette. I think this is a beautiful palette. I love the colours. I love the colour scheme. The mattes are a little bit more difficult to blend than perhaps some of the higher end palettes, but they are blendable. You've just got to work a bit harder. Other than that, I really can't find any fault with it. And for £10, you've got the most beautiful set of green eyeshadows. Okay, so that is the avocado palette. So there you have it. Today's look, the avocado look by Makeup Revolution, dedicated to my very brave fellow YouTuber, Samantha Jaelle. So thinking about you, Samantha. Take care, everyone. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.